Hi there, my name is Alina Eisenhauer, and today I'm coming to you from my kitchen at Sweet in Worcester, Massachusetts. Today I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate malted ice cream sandwich. The first thing we have to do is start with our double chocolate cookies. The first thing we're going to do, like any other cookie, we're going to start, it's the creaming method. So we're going to start by taking our butter, and I have 4 ounces of unsalted butter that I've left to soften at room temperature, and then 4 ounces of vegetable shortening. I prefer to use a trans fat-free shortening, which, believe it or not, Crisco actually is, and you can also find some other all-natural brands out there. We're going to get those going in the mixer, and to that add our sugars. I have 4 ounces of regular granulated sugar, which is half a cup, and also the same amount, half a cup of light brown sugar. We're going to get all that going in the mixer together and turn it on low, slowly first so we don't wear it. I'm going to cream that together until it's light and fluffy. While that's creaming, I'm just going to crack my eggs. You always want to crack your eggs into something rather than directly into your bowl that you're mixing, just in case you get a shell in there, because that's an extra crunch we don't want. So I have my 2 eggs. This is almost good. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit, let it mix a little bit more, and that's about good. A really important step when you're making cookies or cake batter is to always scrape down your bowl as much as you can. There's really no such thing as scraping it too much, just to make sure everything's really evenly mixed and you don't end up with kind of streaks or clumps in your batter. So now that I have this all scraped down, I'm going to turn it back on slow, and I'm going to add my eggs one at a time, just so they get incorporated. Again, if you add them all at once, your batter tends to separate, and it's hard to get it back into a smooth consistency again. Another little trick you want to remember too is when you're baking, it's really important for all your ingredients to be room temperature so that they all, again, are going to come together as a nice batter. If I was using cold eggs, it would make the butter start to seize again. It might get a little bit lumpy and isn't going to mix together as smoothly. So 1 egg's in, I'm going to add my other egg. Let that mix for another second. It's almost completely mixed. Now I'm going to add in my cocoa powder. The reason I'm adding it here is by mixing it in with my eggs and sugar before I have all the other ingredients, and actually I'm saving myself a step. I don't have to sift it because the thickness and the coarseness of the sugar and the butter is just kind of smooth the cocoa powder all out and let it all get mixed in together really nicely. So next we're going to add our honey. Honey is one of the interesting ingredients in these cookies. It's what makes them soft. The great thing about this cookie, they work really well for ice cream sandwiches. They're also addicting just to eat them on their own, is because they're soft. They're like a soft baked chocolate chip cookie. One of the things that makes them soft is the honey. The other is that they have an extra egg in them. For the amount of cookie dough that we're making, most recipes would only have 1 egg, and these have 2. And I'm going to add my vanilla with that. And then we're going to turn that on and let it mix again just for a minute until it's all really well mixed together. Okay, so we've got all of our wet ingredients in the bowl, the sugar, the honey, the butters, and next we're just going to add our dry, pretty much all at once. That's the great thing about cookies. You don't really have to worry about alternating any of your ingredients. I'm going to add maybe half of it, only because I don't want to wear it. I could add it all at once, but in this size mixer, that might be tragic. So that's just about mixed. It's to the point of being just combined. I don't want to overmix it. Now I'm going to add in the good stuff. I have 2 cups of mini chocolate chips. These are dark chocolate, which I prefer. You could use milk chocolate if you can find them, but I think I like the darkness and the richness in a double chocolate cookie. And it's a lot. 2 cups is a lot, but we're making a super chocolate cookie, so it should be a lot. The other extra ingredient that I like to add is cocoa nibs. These are roasted cocoa nibs, which you can find at specialty food stores now. You can actually find them online too. If you can't find them, not a big deal. You can leave them out. Another way to get a similar flavor profile in the cookie would be to add a little bit of ground instant espresso, maybe a tablespoon to the recipe, and that would kind of add that same extra bitterness and a little bit of depth to it. But the cocoa nibs are really fun if you can find them. So just going to dump those right in there too. And that's it. All we have to do is mix this to come together, and we're ready to scoop and bake. So now that our batter is all mixed together, we're ready for the good part, scoop and bake. Well, the best part is eating them, but this gets us closer. So I'm using here an ice cream scoop. It's about 1.5 ounces. You can use any size you want. Sometimes I'll use a really big one. I make giant cookies, especially for ice cream sandwiches, but a lot of times I'll use a smaller one because I can eat more. And an ice cream scoop is just a nice trick. It's a lot better than using spoons. You could use 2 spoons if you don't have an ice cream scoop, but they really come out so neat and uniform and nice and round when you use an ice cream scoop. You want to give them a little bit of room and space them apart. I alternate because they're going to spread considerably. They're going to about double in size when they bake. So once we get them all on the sheet, then you're just going to very lightly press them down, not too much, because again, they really do spread. So I'm just going to flatten them slightly. And that's it. And then they're going to go into a 325-degree oven for about 10 minutes. I always check them about halfway through. After 5 minutes, you really want to check, make sure they're cooking evenly. Maybe rotate your pan, because I haven't found an oven yet that is actually even the latest technology. They say it is. I don't know who they're kidding. So you're going to put this in, bake them for your 10 minutes, take them out when they're just set. You might be tempted to think that they're not cooked, but you don't want to over bake them because then you'll lose that nice soft consistency. So our cookies are out of the oven and they are fully cooled, a very important step. And I have here, this is the malted milk ice cream that I made to make a chocolate malted. So we have the chocolate coming in the form of the cookie and the malted coming in the form of our malted milk ice cream. And I'm just going to take a scoop of the ice cream and put it right in the center of the cookie. I'm using an ice cream scoop that's slightly larger than the scoop that I use to scoop the cookies. You want either the same size or slightly larger, and you'll get just the kind of right ratio of ice cream to cookie. And then I'm going to put that in the center, and you're just going to squish them together. And that's perfect. You could film a little bit more if you wanted to, but that's really pretty good right there. And I'm going to do it again with the rest of my sandwiches until I have them all finished. And then they're going to need to go back in the freezer again for about a half. I mean, they really don't have to. Sometimes I just eat it right here because you don't want to wait. But in order to keep the ice cream from squishing out when you bite down on the cookie, you're going to want to put them back into your freezer for about a half hour. So you could do these days ahead and wrap them individually in saran wrap or in foil, and then they're ready to go. Take them out to serve them if you have a party or have people over, or you just want a snack. And here you have the chocolate malted ice cream sandwiches with our soft double chocolate cookies.